In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your Linux environment with the development tools needed on pureprogrammer.org. This is Linux Mint. Should work for any sort of Debian-based or Ubuntu-based Linux setup. First thing we want to do is download a programming font for use in our console and in our programming editors. If you do a search for JetBrains Mono, it'll come up as the first link there. And you go ahead and click the blue download button. And we're going to save the file. And once it's downloaded, we can go to our downloads folder and right click and do extract here. Extract it into a folder, the zip archive into a folder. Open the folder, open the TrueType font folder, the TTF, and double click on JetBrains Mono Regular. And you can then hit install to install it. You can install the other ones if you want, the medium weights, the bold weights, those types of things. You have to click on them individually and install them. I'm not going to install all of these, but you can install all of them if you want. Next thing we're going to do is launch the terminal. It should be down here in your taskbar or in your applications menu. You should be able to get to it either way. And the terminal program comes set up at this small size, and we're going to change some of the preferences to make it a little bit bigger. And we go into preferences, and we'll go with the unnamed configuration, the only configuration it's got, and we're going to change the terminal size from 180 columns to 132 columns. And we're going to change the rows from 24 to 40. And then we're going to use a custom font, and we're going to click on the font, and then go to JetBrains Mono that we just installed, JetBrains Mono Regular, and I'm going to make this a bit bigger so it's easier for you to read. And we close it. Doesn't look like it's the full 132 columns. Try closing it and reopening it again. And now it'll open in the full 132 columns by 40 rows. The first development tool we're going to look at is C++. And we can see if it's installed by typing G++ -- version. That'll get us the GNU C++ compiler if it's installed. And it says that it's not installed, but it has a friendly suggestion that type in sudo apt install G++ to get it installed. So that's what we'll do, is type in sudo apt install G++, password, and it'll download. So yes. And it'll download the G++ compiler. We can type in G++ -- version now, and it says that it's the GNU 7.4 C++ compiler. So now we're set for C++. The next development tool we want to check on is Java. So we'll type in javac -- version to see if we have the javac compiler. And it says that we do not, and it gives us some choices. We can install the adopt open JDK 11 or the adopt open JDK 8. And if you want to go with the stable version that's been out for a long time, you can go with 8. If you want to go with a newer version, you can select 11. It really shouldn't matter either way. So we'll do sudo apt install open JDK 11 -JDK headless. And that will install the JDK and the Java runtime that's called the JVM. There it is. So now you can type in Java C dash version, and sure enough it says that Java C 11.06 is installed. You can see if the Java JVM is installed by typing just Java dash version, and there it shows you that the Java runtime is also installed. So now we're set for Java development. The next tool we want to look at is for JavaScript development, and it's called node.js. So we'll type in node dash version, and it says it's not installed. So we'll use sudo again to install node.js, and that'll download and install node.js for us. And there it is. Now we can type in node dash version again, and sure enough we come back with the version 8.10.0. Perl is the next tool that we're going to look at. So we'll type Perl dash version, and we see that Perl is already installed. Perl 5.26 is already installed, so we're good to go with Perl. Then we'll take a look at Python. Type in Python dash version, and Python comes back as version 2.7, but we want to do development with Python 3. A lot of times Python is linked to Python 2, but if we type Python 3, we'll get a Python 3 compiler. And sure enough, Python 3.6 is installed if we type Python 3. So you basically just have to remember in the pureprogrammer.org website when it says to type Python, and then your program name, that you need to type Python 3 instead to get the Python 3 interpreter. Next tool we're going to look at is Swift. And to get Swift installed, we need to use our web browser to download the package from the swift.org website. So just go ahead in your web browser and type in swift.org, and you'll see on the left that there's a download link. And we can download the tool chain for Ubuntu 18.04. Linux Mint and other Ubuntu-based distributions can all use this. So we'll click on 18, and we'll save the file. And as soon as it's downloaded, we can open it up. Okay, we can open it up in our downloads folder, and you'll see there it is, the Swift release. Right click on that, do extract here. That'll extract the tar gzipped file into a set of folders. So we need to put that folder in a more permanent place. So if I right click and do copy, and then we go up to my main folder, I can create a folder for my development tools, other development tools I might install, called Dev Tools. And in Dev Tools, I can now do paste and put that folder in there. And I'm going to basically shorten that name, because we're going to have to put this in our path. So we want to rename it with a shorter name, perhaps just Swift-5.1.4 would be a good name. Now we need to install a couple of dependencies that Swift is going to need, and we're going to again do that with sudo apt install. We're going to install clang and libicu.-dev. Now what we want to do is go ahead and close out the terminal. We need to make a change to our path setting. So to get our path changed to work with Swift, we need to go in and make a change to a file called bashrc. It's a hidden file, so you need to turn on hidden files. And you should find it. It's bashrc.bashrc. We'll open that up. And what we need to do is we need to add a new path statement. Path equals, and we're going to do ~/dev_tools, and the name of the folder that we called it, Swift 5.1.4, 5.1.4, and then we're going to make it inside Swift point to user/bin, then put a colon and the path variable again so that we get the original path setting. And now we can save that ~rc file. Okay. And now when we open up our terminal and we do echo path, we should see that at the beginning, that Swift path at the beginning of our path statement. And now if we try to run the Swift compiler, Swift C -- version, we'll get that it's the 5.1.4 Swift compiler. So now Swift is set up. The last thing I want to show you is a text editor that will be useful when you're writing programs called gedit. You can install it by typing sudo apt install gedit. And you can run it from the command line by typing gedit. You can also find it in your application menu. Type gedit. It shows up as text editor and gedit in parentheses, and that'll run it. You can see that it has a lot of support for different languages. Once you save a file with a programming language extension, it'll perform syntax highlighting, highlighting the different colors to represent different parts of the syntax of your program. So that's a good choice to use. There are some other ones available, but gedit's a good place to start. I hope this video was helpful in getting your Mint or other Debian or Ubuntu-based distributions set up for use with the pureprogrammer.org website. If you're interested in learning more about programming, come visit us at www.pureprogrammer.org.